And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Oh my God. It looks like the House Representatives in the United States is trying to pass a new law. They're not talking about cryptocurrencies, but I'm telling you what, it's coming, where they're going to try to make it to where you and me cannot buy these things. I am just letting you know. I have a feeling that, look, I don't know how this goes down. We're going to discuss this today. They're going after IPO stuff. They're not. Here's how they always do it. They talk about stuff that you don't want to hear about. And then in the end, they're like, and all this includes crypto as well. That's how this is going to go down, I believe. I can't imagine they're going to want us to be rich. I don't know. I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to start to show off with that one. But I'll tell you what. I don't have answers for this. This is something where it's all a risk. So there's nowhere to hide. It's one of those things. My name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't do anything I tell you to do anything at all. Before every show, I get super fucking high on drugs. 10 different drugs, heroin, cocaine, everything. I snort it, inject it. Don't listen to anything on the show. That's your disclaimer for today. All right. Let's be prepared. Let's do a copy and a paste. Here we go. This article just came out. The House bill would explain the pool of people who can buy certain investments if they can pass an SEC test. Here it all comes down the line, everybody. The equal opportunity for all. I like how they put this. They're going to create a law to stop you from buying crypto. And they're calling it the Equal Opportunity for All Investors Act. I'm just like, wow. So they make it sound like they're going to give you an opportunity when in fact they're taking away. Oh my God, this is like a fuck job right here. The Equal Opportunity for All. It's an Investors Act of 2025, which the House approved on Monday. It's off to the Senate. It would direct the SEC Commission to create a special test that individuals can take to qualify as an accredited investor without regard to their wealth or income. Accredited investors can put money into a broader array of financial products like cryptocurrency, including pre-IPO companies and venture capital. I would argue that a lot of investors shouldn't go anywhere near this, said one certified financial planner. He's the biggest. I don't know who that financial planner is. That's total load of shit right here. More consumers could gain access to investments typically reserved for the wealthy, provided they can pass a test. Well, if they already have a test, why are we passing this? Let me ask you a question. We're going to take a pause and we're going to have an interactive conversation. If we already have a certain kind of a test, what is this law they just passed? The equal opportunity. What are some of your opinions? Somebody says, if you haven't set up your Caleb Brown account, this is the perfect time to do it. Just saying. Okay, I'll tell you what my belief is. They already have one of these accredited investor tests and guidelines and stuff. This is what I've been telling you, and no other channel's been telling you, is we don't have any crypto laws in the United States Code. Going back to that again, no other channel discusses that. What we got going is we already have one of these tests. Remember Gary saying, well, we don't need any new crypto laws. We have the Howey test. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, what Gary's job is to stall everything. We don't have crypto laws in the United States Code. So therefore, they were stalling things, scaring people. You got the IRS putting out guidance. That's not law. You don't have to pay no tax on crypto. There's no crypto laws. And you had Dumb and Dumber out there saying, yeah, go see Clinton Donnelly, tax attorney. We don't even have crypto laws, so you don't even need to see a tax attorney. I'm like, wow. So what we got going on is they're going to start working on laws to keep you out. Now, my belief is this. This is my belief. If you already have crypto, do not put 100% in the hardware wallets, okay? Do not do that. This is my belief. Yes, I do have Caleb Brown and everything, but I'm going to tell you something, and it only makes sense. You see, Fireblocks is a protocol that protects your crypto. 2,000 of the world's biggest banks and financial institutions use the same crypto custody that Caleb Brown has. It's called Fireblocks. I want to be in that kingdom when they slam the door shut. If you're out on planet Uranus with all these other people that are all, yeah, I'm just going to put everything in a hardware wallet. Not your keys, not your crypto, right? Crypto Hulk, ha, 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 whatever happened to that? A thing called, we're heading into a time where they're creating new laws. And those people that are not in the financial system, you're going to get your cheeks clapped. I'm right there with Caleb Brown. I'm right there with 2,000 of the world's biggest banks. I'm in that club. Oh, shit. Now, how do you feel, Mr. 100%? I got my keys. It's my crypto. No one's taking it from me. That's okay, because you know what? You will not be able to participate in the world economic. You have an unregistered wallet. Oh, man. You got so fucking wrecked. Shouldn't have been talking shit. Talk shit, get hit. That's how it works. Meanwhile, me and everybody else, all of our crypto is registered, approved. It's all in custody with Fireblocks, along with JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, and everybody else. Our custody is in the same protocol as them. Yep, sucks being you all by yourself, trying to live under the radar. That ain't going to happen, dude. I'm just letting you know. When the crypto takes off, our crypto is already in a licensed platform. It's called Fireblocks. I'm in there. That's why I told y'all, I want to be in the same warehouse that 2,000 of the biggest banks and financial institutions are. I looked at my left, there's Citibank. I looked at my right, BNY Mellon's right there. I look way over there, there's JP Morgan and all that shit. I'm in a room with trillionaires, billionaires. You're over there hiding out in a pup tent in the forest somewhere. They're not going to allow you to use your shit, dude. They're going to have their own platform called the Regulated Liability Network and all these different banker networks. You ain't getting in. When these laws are passed like that, I'm already in the financial system. And when my crypto becomes worth $1 million, I'm automatically accredited. Bam, just like that. You're not going to be in the system, okay? You're going to be having your crypto on all these little hideout places and shit, thinking, oh, I'm smarter than Crypto. If you're so smart, where's your fucking channel, okay? Anyhow, I can answer my own questions. They're rhetorical anyway. So that's what we're reading about this article here. They don't tell you everything at first. That's why they call it I got to read this title again. The Equal Opportunity for All Investors Act. Oh my God. I'm sure glad I'm already in Caleb Brown's fire blocks, because when they pass these laws, I'm already in the financial system. My crypto's already regulated. They know where I bought it. I buy my crypto at Caleb Brown. And maybe you transferred your shit there. At least you're in a licensed custody protocol with all the other 2,000 of the biggest banks. Oh, no, that's right. You're a hardware wallet guy. You're not your keys, not your cryptos, right? I got you, Crypto Hawk. I'm smarter than you. That's what Mama said. You're special, huh? On that short bus and shit. Okay, I believe it. You are special. I totally agree with your mother. Oh, that's right. You have a stepmother. Yeah, he don't love you anyway. Most consumers could gain access to investments typically reserved for the wealthy, provided they pass a test from regulators. The U.S. House of Representatives Monday approved a bill to expand the definition of who can qualify as a so-called accredited investor. Accredited investors are permitted to invest in a wide range of assets, including pre-IPOs and all that. The Equal Opportunity for Investors Act would direct the SEC to create a test that individuals can take to qualify. We already have one of these, don't we? Regardless of their wealth or income. Currently, investors need to meet an income of $200 a year if you're an individual, or $300,000 a year if you're a married couple. Or if you have a net worth of $1 million, then you can be considered an accredited investor. Those thresholds are not pegged to inflation and haven't changed in decades. As a result, more households have become accredited over the years as wealth and incomes grow. These numbers probably should be about 500,000 and 700,000. It's where the numbers probably should be if you had adjusted for inflation. In my view, here's what Representative Mike Flood, a Republican from Nebraska, says. In my view, wealth alone is not a particularly strong judge of whether someone should be an accredited investor or not. A better one is whether someone has the knowledge to accurately weigh the benefits and risks of private offerings. You know, it kind of goes when I read you guys a crypto. We got people that are brand new who don't know what the fuck they're doing. They'll go and put 2,000 or 3,000 into something and just lose it. And I'm like, wow, that's what the government's trying to help. Okay, people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. The people on this show that when they invest into stuff and they want to pump dump it, they know what they're doing. It's the people that don't know that don't make any money. So what you got to do is watch the channel more and understand what we're doing, what people do here, and how to invest in small caps. What about liquidity? This, that. You're coming into something. You literally think you're going to join the channel and it's a ATM machine and you're going to make a lot of money. And that's totally fucking wrong. You've got to work with the channel, understand it, understand how people's behavior. It's tricky to pump dump. That's why I don't do it. Every once in a while I will. The channel is not an ATM machine. You need to watch with parental guidance. The adults that are watching the show, they fucking get wrecked because you make dumb decisions and invest in shit. You don't understand what the crypto is. You don't understand the ramifications. You don't even know how to gamble. You need to have a parental guidance. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50 years old and watching my channel. You need to have your fucking parents there ready to hit you with a cane when you do some dumb shit. Alrighty then. The bill must pass the Senate and then be signed by the president before it become law. The bill asks that the SEC test be designed to determine whether an individual understands different types of securities, financial statements, and risks associated with private assets, including their limited liquidity. See, that's what we're talking about, liquidity. We got some of these cryptos that almost have barely any liquidity. So that means you don't just go in and dump $1,000 into something because the price is going to spike up to like $1 million, but you can't get the crypto out because there's no liquidity. So even though your account or that crypto might go from 0.002 cents to $10, and you can't go sell them all off at once. There's not enough liquidity. So you just fucked yourself and everybody else over because you don't know what you're doing. With these cryptos, when these people dump them on the show, what I guess they're doing is you go in, if you go in really slow, then nobody notices. And when you leave, if you go slower, nobody notices. You can go in and a crypto nice and slow. Like, see, if you don't understand what I'm talking about and how to do all these things, you need to start learning what's going on here at Crypto Hulk Show by asking if you want to become a member. You can talk to Crypto Hulk. We can explain these things. But some of these, like this, the Seal coin, this article here is talking about there might be an investment with limited liquidity. That means you might dump $10,000 into, let's say, Seal coin, and you won't be able to get your money out because everybody else is pulling their money out before you, because you don't understand what a low liquidity cryptocurrency is. You don't know what a low liquidity investment is. All you do is watch people making $1,000, $5,000, $8,000 on crypto. Oh, I want to do that. You don't even know what the fuck's going on. That's embarrassing. That's what they're trying to do, is pass these laws so people don't get wrecked. There's disclosures that are given. With the cryptos that I go on that are talked about on my show, there are no disclosure. I give a disclosure or disclaimer at the beginning of the show. The exam created by this bill, so the SEC is going to have an exam, and it's created to strike the balance between rigorously testing for sophistication and not being set to such a difficult standard that even an intelligent investor could not pass it. The proposal is also aimed at getting more money into the hands of startup businesses. Part of the problem, it says here, small businesses, it's not that they have a lack of ideas, it's they don't have money to build. Let's say you got a great idea and you want to start a business. You talk to a small business advisor and they say, hey, you got a great idea. Let's make a small business plan. And, you know, you might have a great plan, but Small Business Association, maybe they can only give you $50,000, but you need like $300,000 or $400,000. That's part of the problem. We're trying to get the president's trying to get crypto to grow so they can give startups money. Another way a startup can get money is by opening up IPOs or selling cryptos, right, to get money. Well, when you sell it like Ethereum, total illegal Ethereum free pass, totally illegal. But that's okay. The government won't do nothing because they're working. Ethereum was working for the government. That's why they never got in trouble. So Ethereum had what they called a Genesis block sale, and they sold a bunch of Ethereum to raise money because they wanted to improve the Ethereum network because it was a pile of shit, like it still is. So Ethereum would be selling off these tokens to raise money to improve the network. Guess what? Ripple has done the same thing for all these years as well, and the governments never came after them because it's also working for the government. Okay. Now, let's see here. Now you're going to have certain government people or lawyers saying, oh, the country shouldn't allow people. It's mainly Democrats. They don't want people anywhere near this because you can make yourself a lot of money. Like when Crypto Hulk shows you guys a certain crypto, the people that do very well at this are the ones that know how to trade. You don't have to have a lot of money. You have to know how to trade, the right time to pull the trigger to buy it and the right time to pull your money out of a crypto. Then you got to know how to use Deck Screener. Then you got to watch like before a show, watch 6 hours before a show, or you've got a lot of work to do. The people that make the most money, they know how to gamble, number one. They know how to read a Deck Screener and utilize it. And then they can make smarter decisions. They can see where there's sharks in the water, right? Let's say you're ready to go into the water and swim. Sometimes you might want to put on a special pair of glasses or use a depth finder and find out all the sharks in the water. So what I do is before I talk about a certain crypto, I go in and see how many sharks are in the water. So the last crypto we had, I think the BD one or whatever, there's one guy in there, shark in the water, kind of a small shark. He was making a lot of $10 sales for like about an hour or two before the show. So he kind of knew something. That was the guy who made his living pumping up cryptos, but he wasn't a rich guy, but he'd buy and sell 10 to 15 bucks at a time, sometimes 30. So what I did, me and my friend, is we're looking for sharks in the water. And we had one, and he wasn't that big. And he probably dumped $300 to $500 or something like that when everything went crazy at 5 o'clock yesterday. And but he's still there. He's still there. And he's just buying his every so often he'll buy, so that's what you got to do. And it makes it, the more you understand, and I try to help with that now. Me and my friend will look for sharks in the water, and we saw that had one shark, and he wasn't the big dumper, so it wasn't him. So could have been his friend or something like that. But anyhow, that's talking about sophistication. Donations for midget throwing party. We'll definitely have to have that. Let's see. Oh, wait, we got a donation here. 46 JDMA. Thanks, Zoltar Hulk, Mr. OG, and Crypto She-Hulk, and the Anti-Clapped Club. Yes. So what I do on this show, hold on a second. Not Waiting in Vain, member for 20 months at the 2024 Crypto Explosion level. I appreciate you being a member at that level. Your membership is more like a donation. And let me read your question because it's important. I think we are all very lucky to be here on this channel, along with the information. Use it wisely. Be kind. Hopefully, we can squeeze through unseen. Don't tell anyone how much you have of anything. Olu got a membership at the entry level member level. So TJ Smith, donation for okay, we got that one. Midget throwing party. That's an interesting one. So there you go. That'll be the end of that article right there. All right, we'll end it right there. Now, the next one, the Genius Act. Let's look at this one right here. What we're doing right now is we're coming up from a deep dive, and we're starting to look at what's going on. Like, you can't always stay deep dive. You got to deep dive, come back up, deep dive, come back up. Because if you're down there so far, you don't know what's going on at the top. If you know what's going on at the top, then we start going down below. You can see it ready to happen. Like, what I do is this. I'll go and find cryptos, and then I'll deep dive them a little bit to see what's going on. And then I'll go find out where they're at. And then I'll go look for sharks in the water with my friends. We go shark hunting, and we locate. If we don't see any sharks, we come back up to the top, say, okay, everybody, here's a very interesting crypto we got here. And I teach about it, because if it's one, there was a couple cryptos where we saw sharks in the water, and I say, hey, we're not doing this because people are going to get fucking destroyed. So we were watching other cryptos, and I was watching, we were doing the deep dive, and there were sharks in the water snatching 500 there and keeping, like, somebody would kind of bump a price and then these sharks would just destroy it and drive it down lower. So I'm like, we're not using that crypto. We went through about three cryptos, maybe four. And this fourth one we did the other night, there was, like I said, one shark, and it was like not a big one. It wasn't a great white shark. It wasn't an orca. And we could tell everybody else had sold off, and he was just one guy trying to do some shit. So that's why I went over that crypto. So look, you got to do both. Sometimes we'll do deep dive stories here. And other times, like today, we're up at the surface and I'm seeing what's going on. I'm reading the news. Like we went over the HBAR thing yesterday. That was in the news. There's like 2 articles for HBAR. And today we're coming up, looking around. And what I'll do is when I'm coming up from a deep dive, I'll look around and I'll see something that's interesting and go charge after it. I'll get on the jet ski and go over to the next article, look at it and be like, okay, how are they really doing that? And then I go on another deep dive again to see how this company A, just hooked up and they're coming up with something. I'm going to go investigate that. That's when I go down below and then I come back up to show you guys what happened. So that's how it works here. And we've got a Genius Act and JP Morgan. I want to show you what's getting set up, everybody. You still got time to get your crypto. You still got time to get your Caleb Brown account. That's not going to be, I'll just tell you what, here's my opinion. I don't see Caleb Brown, the government, allowing any of these companies. I'm not singling out Caleb Brown. I'm saying the government will not allow you to custody your shit. Let's say they let you buy crypto. You're not going to be able to hold it in custody or control it. That won't happen. So at some point, everybody is going to get shut down as far as like even Caleb Brown sending your crypto away. They may allow you to send it to them, but it'll be a one-way only deal. They can hold it and nobody else. And I think all the exchanges, Uphold, Coinbase, all of them are going to do this deal where you can buy it just like your bank. I mean, you have access to, I guess, pulling your money out of your bank, but it's like, it's different with cryptocurrency. It's like stocks. When you go to like BlackRock and you see a JP Morgan, see a financial advisor, you can't take your stock with you, can you? No, you can't. You can buy Goodyear stock, but it stays at JP Morgan. And that's what crypto, in my opinion, is going to happen. Now, Genius Act. What has the Genius Act done to JP Morgan, which is the most systemically important bank in the entire world? It isn't just about America. JP Morgan is such an important bank that the whole world depends on them. JP Morgan, let's see, the Genius Act makes immediate impact as JP Morgan looks to allow crypto as collateral for lending. Oh, maybe you got cryptocurrencies and your crypto is worth $1 million, but maybe you don't want to spend your crypto. You'd give JP Morgan $1 million and maybe they loan you $500,000. JP Morgan Chase is reportedly preparing to offer loans. I have never heard this at all, everybody. JP Morgan, the world's biggest bank, is going to offer loans backed by client-held digital assets. And it's starting off with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're making a direct engagement with crypto collateralization by a global, systemically important bank for the very first time. So in the future, that's what I'm seeing happen. You're going to have all these places wanting to have you hold their crypto. They want to custody your crypto so you can get a loan. It's kind of like if you had a house and you wanted to buy, let's say you want to buy a Porsche. You can go to the bank, use your house as collateral. They'll get you a loan, a secured loan. And they might give you $170,000. Then you go over to Porsche and buy a car. It's going to be the same thing with crypto. So some of you guys might be crypto rich, but money poor. So maybe you don't want to spend $170,000 on a Porsche and use your crypto, because a year or 2 or 3 from now, your crypto is worth money. So you take a loan. That's what they're doing right here. The plan reported by the Financial Times and Reuters would expand an existing effort by the bank to accept spot Bitcoin ETFs as collateral as early as 2026. I want you to see what's going on right now. Not that you have to do any of this. What I'm just showing you is adoption. I want you to see what's going on. Real world adoption right here. Where 5 years ago, JP Morgan would never have done such a thing. Now all of a sudden, I'm looking like this. It's not, look, I don't believe there's going to be an explosion, like a flip of the switch. There can be. What has to happen first is you got to set up all the roads and bridges, okay? All the roads, bridges, tunnels. You've got to make a city. You got to have the police and the jails and the hospitals. You've got to, okay, what makes crypto valuable? 2 things. Number 1, tokenization of everything. The more tokenized you are, the crypto goes up. And you got to have laws, don't you? And then your crypto has to have real world use case. The value of that protocol determines in some parts how much your crypto is going to be worth. So it's got to do something. And then when you have tokenization and then global laws, bam, there you go. What we're seeing now is crypto being utilized, because some people would say this, oh, damn. Juno N. Looks like somebody's trying to get into the $500 club. Let me write down this name of this person here. Hold on there a minute, buddy. Okay. Juno, no. Judo, no. $300. Okay, and Amber Hobson, welcome back. Amber Hobson is a newer brand, well, not a new, she paid her 2nd month's dues. She started off not doing anything with crypto, and she started investing. So like some of you newer investors, give me a call. We'll go over stuff you got to do. And this lady started making some money, and a lot of it. So let's see what good old Amber has to say today. Thank you for all you do for us, Hulk. I'm so excited to pay it forward. Wow. Nice. Okay. And Caleb Gilmore sent 5 Crypto Hulk gift memberships. Wait, Crypto Hulk, what is Juno? Wait a second. Holy shit. Okay, dude just paid $500. All right, let me write that shit down. Okay, so if you're brand new, usually how it starts off, the best coin researcher in the universe. Wow, that's cool, man. I do a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. I'm telling you, 60 hours a week, I got to do the shit. Remember, I got to contact people that are brand new members. So if you're brand new, you get my phone number. So go to, I got like a couple phones I bought for this channel. Literally this one. And I got these suckers right here. So that'll allow me, I might be talking to one. I've done it yesterday. I was doing this, talking to one person, and then the other one on speakerphone so they can kind of hear. But yeah, that's what I had to buy 2 phones for this. Caleb Gilmore, Isaac, Isak received a gift membership by Caleb Gilmore. Big C, Coral Cohen, Knarf, and then James Agar. Those people got memberships by Caleb Gilmore. And so for Juno, go to Twitter, go to X, and look up at CryptoHulk19. So the C it's all one word. At CryptoHulk19 is all one. The C is capital and the H is capital. The others are lowercase letters. What I will need for you to do is go to your Google account and then take a screenshot. Please don't take a screenshot of this right here and say, look, it's me, because I could have fucking done that myself. So I really don't want to see your Apple account necessarily. What I want to see is your Google account showing paid, because an Apple account could say you paid for anything, hot dogs or hamburgers. I want to look at your Google account where you actually paid the $500 and do a screenshot of that. Then you can say, hey, Crypto Hulk, it's me, Juno N, on your program on YouTube, because I'm not going to know who you are until you tell me, because your X name is going to be different than the YouTube name. What would really help is getting a American phone number. So I got a guy right now in the Philippines who gave me one American phone number. Shit didn't work. So I'll probably give the guy another week for free or whatever it takes. I'm fair. I'm totally fair. If he needs another week or two, whatever, it's cool. But he had one phone number. It wasn't quite working too good. Then he got another one. It's some kind of app. Whatever app you get, you can choose an American phone number. Now, this one works better for the guy in the Philippines. I can hear him much better and all this stuff. So, because what happens is before a show, I'm going to text everybody, and I can't go from WhatsApp to this to Twitter X to whatever. I can't go to 4 or 5 different. Everybody's going to have an American phone number. That makes it easy for me to get a hold of you quickly, okay? Because I can't be trying to contact all these people 5, 6, 10 different ways. It's not going to happen. Now, let's see. What we got here. What'll happen is when you're brand new, I'll talk to you, figure out where you're at. Sometimes what I'll do is have an assistant get on the phone, put this person on speakerphone to help me and help you kind of catch up fast, to learn about liquidity, like the basics, just the basics. But remember, learning how to buy and sell crypto, that's all on you. I can offer tips that other people use and stuff. I'm not teaching you how to trade. I'm showing you what other people have done. And just start off small, $100 or something like that. You know, if you lose it, you lose it. I got one guy put in like a lot and then lost it. I'm like, why did you do that? So just, if you can't turn $100 into 300, then don't fucking do shit. Just kind of pretend, okay? Pretend you have $100 and then write down the time. Say right about now I pulled the trigger, and then write down and just see. You know, we can do practice shit like that too. I've done that with some of the brand new people, and I can show you how to practice trade. So if we have a crypto that you might want to get into, you'd simply get a piece of paper, write it down, write down the time that it is wherever you're at and how much money you put in. And then when you feel you want to pull the trigger on that crypto, look at the exact time, write it down there. And then you could later see what that crypto, and you can look on the charts up there what it's worth. So that's how you practice trade. And there's a lot of other things I can do to explain shit. But yeah, let's go. Let's look here. So the Genius Act. So you got now the world's biggest bank accepting loans for cryptocurrency. We are so far. Now, why is this important? Because there's a thing called Basil. Oh, that's right, Crypto Hulk, Basil. We haven't heard too much about it, have we? No, because Joe Biden and the Democrats in America shut it all down, crypto. So Trump opens it up. Now we're going to have to go back to Basil. Let's see what the article says about Basil. Remember now, you got tier 1, tier 2. Tier 1 is all the good crypto. Like if you have crypto that's backed by gold, that's tier 1. And then that crypto has to be held in certain places. Okay? When JP Morgan launches this is where Basil comes in. Let me remind you. So the launch, when JP Morgan launches this, it would also serve as a test case for how banks navigate the Basil Committee's high capital charges for crypto exposure, while direct lending against unwrapped Bitcoin carries a 1,250% risk. ETF-based lending may qualify for reduced treatment under existing guidelines. Okay. If a bank, now I'm not an expert in this, but if a bank wants to make a loan to you because you got Bitcoin, if it's in it depends on where the bank gets the crypto. If they're using like a a BlackRock fund of some sort, there's different rules on what they would charge you for interest or what kind of risk that would be. But Bitcoin has a 1,250% risk-weighted asset designation. It's not backed. Bitcoin can't be backed by anything. That's not like the XRP, is it? Stellar and these other cryptos. They can be backed. So there's the 1,000% risk. That's how it works with Bitcoin. The bank literally has to have 10 times. Okay, so for every one, if you go to the bank and you want to borrow 1 Bitcoin worth of value, like what is it, 115,000 or something, you've got to have, but let's use 1 Bitcoin. The bank has to hold 12. See that? So if you have 12 Bitcoins, that's like $1.2 million. Then the bank will give you $1 million loan on your crypto, because that's because of Basil. Bitcoin has that much risk. You need $1 million, $1.25 million, just to get a $125,000 loan, because you got a 1,250% risk. That's not cool, but some people will do it. Especially, look, if you got like $500 million in Bitcoin, and so that's what some people are going to do, but I wouldn't even hold any Bitcoin at all. Let me click out of that. Oh, let me do this next article here. We got 42 minutes. This will probably be the last article, maybe. Let me check some comments here. We're not going to have people exchanging information on contacting each other. We don't do that on the channel. You're here to watch the Crypto Hulk show, not to get everybody else's phone numbers and this and that, because then when you get wrecked, then the first thing, I was on Crypto Hulk channel and they had a scammer on there and ripped everybody off. So nobody's exchanging any kind of fucking information on this channel. Moderators do not allow people to be exchanging information. Okay. Sparks. Okay, then. Right here, now I'm going to show you something. This article right here. Let me do a copy and a paste. Stephen Morris. I heard. Look, here's what I heard. Nobody can predict shit, okay? So they change this all the time. It'll be this date. Nope, that day. Nobody knows nothing. Okay, it's all hype stuff. Let's stick with what do we know. We know this article right here. PayPal. I want you to see this article. It's amazing. Because you know why it's amazing? Because this article proves to you that I've been right for 3 years talking about all this Chinese connection stuff. We're going over this right now. PayPal taps wallets from China, India to make cross-border payments easier for 2 billion people. What we're seeing right now, everybody, is 25% of the world getting hooked up with crypto. It's happening right now in front of your eyes. You're seeing it right here on Crypto Hulk Show. What you're also seeing on Crypto Hulk Show is for the past 3 years, my channel and my channel only have been showing you all the connections. Ripple China, Ripple Indonesia, Ripple Hong Kong. No other channel has had any evidence like Crypto Hulk Show, okay? Now, we've got China and India getting hooked up with PayPal, with crypto, okay? 2 billion people. I'm telling you what, that's a quarter of the whole planet. PayPal announced Wednesday that it had partnered with wallet companies to create a platform called PayPal World. Now, let me show you something here. Let me take a look. Up right here, we got it. Now, PayPal did not invent any platform. I'm just letting you know. XRPOBD says, sorry, Hulk, for the disrespect. I've got to do that because then if somebody gets scammed, my reputation is at risk. So I'm not having anybody talk to anybody else on this fucking platform. It's not a social club. You come to my channel, I show you cryptos, you leave and do whatever the fuck with that information you want. I'm not here to help people connect. This ain't Love Connection. We're not trying to get somebody's phone number to help them trade. And we're not doing that shit on my channel, at least. On some other platform, sure. Because I want their evidence to be on some other platform where you got that person's phone number, not from my platform. So later when you get fucking destroyed or whatever it is, I got nothing to do with it. That was on that platform over there. Crypto Cat. Oh, damn. That's from like 5 years ago. That's pretty rare. This person's been on my show. I haven't seen him for years, but yeah, damn, that's from like 5 years ago when I first started. Amazing. What we got here is this. Oh, let me show you. China, where is that? Right here. Okay. Now, look what we got here. We've got Ripple Singapore, gold and silver in your wallet. I want you to fast forward this to the 2-minute, 16-second mark. 2-minute, 16-second mark. What do we see right here? What you're seeing is what you've never seen on any other channel for 3 years. This is Ripple Singapore. You got the logo. What does it say right here? Gold and silver in your wallet. PayPal did not come up with this. What PayPal is doing is building on the Ripple platform, okay? They're using, or they copied Ripple wallets. No other channel has shown you Ripple wallets except mine. 3 years ahead. You are about 3 years ahead, 2.5, maybe 3 years ahead of any other channel when you watch my program, all right? Digi, thank you very much for the tax-free donation. And then Crypto Cat, thank you very much for that tax-free donation. Appreciate that. So we look here. PayPal announced that it has partnered with global wallet companies. All these companies, they're building on the Ripple wallet. Just they are. And created what's called PayPal World. Build on the Ripple ledger that is designed to make cross-border payments easy. The platform will allow users to pay others using their local wallets and payment systems. Now, listen to the next section because I've been showing you this for 3 years and no other channel has. The company said the launch partners include India's NPCI. Stop right there. Let's look at the article I've been showing you for 3 years. And let's go here to paste it. And send it. Okay, let me read the article a little. The company said the launch partners included India. Right when I started talking about all that, boom. Have you noticed? You noticed what happens? The censorship's going off. They don't want you to know this. Everything's cool. Then I started talking about the 10-pay, Alipay, and whoop, cut the channel off, right? They're like, dude, how does this crypto Hulk fucker get this information? Son of a bitch. Now, let me recap because I don't know how long it's been off. We have a news article. It starts talking about India's NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. I then take you back to a 2017 article that I've been showing you for the past 3 years on my program, showing you how Ripple is already a partner with NPCI. Next in the article, it starts talking about how China's 10-pay is involved with this. And then I take you back to a 2013 Wayback Machine webpage that shows Alipay, which is Alibaba, and 10-pay are Ripple partners. All these, I've been showing you this for 3 years. No other channel has any information about this. Nobody has a clue. The news channels have no idea that China's a buddy of Ripple, which is working with the United States government. That's why they keep turning my fucking show off. Man. So now I'm going to show you all the connections. Let me do it again. These are the connections with the PayPal. Now, PayPal and Venmo join Visa. So now we got 3, PayPal, Venmo, and Visa. They're joining together, and this was about a year ago. So they all joined together a year ago, PayPal, Venmo, and Visa. But guess what? They also have Cross River Bank and Fiserv joined this project, right? This project they claim started a year ago. So remember, Cross River Bank, that's a Ripple partner. Let me show you that evidence. Now, Fiserv. Fiserv is a payments company that held the National Republican Convention to get Trump elected like about a year or 2 ago. Fiserv is a Ripple partner. Nobody else knows it except Crypto Hulk channel. You have Ripple Labs here. Go to the 19-second mark. Go to the 19-second mark. You got something called Ripple Labs. Meet the team. Fiserv is right there, along with Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, NASA, the Space Administration, the New York Fed, and the National, I can't say security and I can't say agency. But let's focus on Fiserv because that's who was working with PayPal. Now let's look at this. Visa. First, we got to start off with Visa. We got Visa is a massive Ripple partner because that's why they're working with PayPal, Venmo, Cross River Bank, Fiserv. They're all in together. There's your first example. Visa spent $250 million on Ripple technology. Visa spent $925 million on Ripple technology. This is pre-inflation money. So we're probably looking at 1.3 to 1.4 billion Visa spent. So we got PayPal, Venmo, Visa, who's spending money like crazy on Ripple shit. Cross River Bank's involved, Fiserv, Western Union's involved in this. and PayPal. And what is all this? It is the PayPal world that is hooking up China and India, which is 2 billion people, to give them crypto wallets. Wallets that were made. Oh, by the way, PayPal and these companies. Here's Ripple China right here, in case you're new. Go to the 37-second mark. 37-second mark. What do you see, Ripple China? What is the CNY? That's the Chinese yuan. That is China's CBDC that Ripple made for them 12 years ago. So there's your connection with Ripple. I already showed you the India NPCI. All of this is Ripple. So when you see an article right here about China and India are going to come together to have crypto wallets and shit with PayPal, understand that PayPal is working with Venmo, Visa, Cross River Bank. I don't know where that's going. That's very strange. I hate having the Apple's great, but then everything Apple starts hooking up together. And so that is what we see. Finally, after 3 years, all the connection between China, India, Ripple, PayPal, Visa, all the shit comes together exactly like I said. So what I'm doing is I already know how all this started. This started 12 years ago with China and Ripple and the United States government. It's all a project. That's why I can't go to an event where Ripple is, because I'd have to like do this the whole time with Ripple.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's 3 gallons of bullshit in a 2-gallon bucket.
Ripple has been working with the government since day one. This whole Ripple thing is to get the whole world hooked up to make us slaves into a cryptocurrency world. That's what all this is. They're going to allow some of us to maybe get through, and then I don't hold it past them. They're going to try to steal all of our shit later once we get rich. I have no doubt about that. Let me click out of that. Where are we at? 1 hour exactly. Okay, let me get some questions here. Hold on. Here's for the article. China and India hooked up with PayPal to have like something called PayPal World. Let me show you this.
That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic.
Okay. Ripple is a company that is basically the United States government. Everybody at Ripple has signed non-disclosure agreements with the United States government. If they didn't, then what happened is the United States government contracted with somebody who contracted with somebody who contracted, who then claims to own Ripple, and then that people signed those non-disclosure. Whatever it is, it's the government. When you rabbit trail all the way up to the front, I've already done all this. I already know. I can't be showing all the evidence every show. Just if you watch my programs, you already have all the evidence you need on how all this went down. What it looks like to me is they're getting this whole system hooked up. I believe the majority of it is. That's why China is now getting hooked up with India. We're at the final stages, in my opinion. When you get 20, that's 1 out of 4 people on the planet. Right now, 1 out of 4 people on this. So every 4 people you meet, one of them is going to be hooked up to the crypto. China and India, they're hooking up all their peoples, okay? That is, this is a lot to take in. Then you got the SEC talking about they're going to test people, and so you can't buy certain, it's probably going to be crypto. Like, look, there's no place where you're going to be able to hide, all right? I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to live off the grid. No, you're not. No, you're not. There will be a lot of drones flying around, and you can wear your little mask. The drone's going to identify you, and you're going to have to take off the mask so it can find out who you are. That's how the shit works, man, is letting you know. You can run and hide for so long that it's going to be over. They're going to track you down. They got all these drones. They got thousands. They can send out thousands of drones and just send them all over where you can't hear them. You can't hear them. They'll probably make them invisible. So your night vision, look, you can't escape this shit. It's not good. I don't have happy news. I have reality. That's what this show is, a reality show. We make some crypto. Maybe we get out of the crypto at a certain percentage and buy real world assets, or I don't know. I don't have all the answers here. Okay. I've been called a know-it-all quite a bit in my life in a derogatory term, but I've been called a know-it-all, but I don't. I find information and I just let you know in advance. It's better to know, hey, I'd like to know the bad news. Like if there was a day coming up in my life and maybe it's 5 years from now or 3, whatever, and it's like really, really, really freaking bad, I'd kind of like to know when that day is. I think maybe a lot of people would, or maybe they wouldn't. But there is a day coming when all this shit is going to take off, the crypto, and I don't know if it's going to be good or bad for us. I believe I'm doing all this because it's going to be good, but I think that eventually they're going to try to take all of our shit back. Like, so we already got it, right? So they're going to figure out a way to like get it all back. And I don't have all these answers. I'm not going to start thinking about it. I don't want to be talking about all this because no one has answers. It's like everybody in a dark room. Everybody can talk, but no one can see shit. So I just put that out there for you to understand so that you're not shocked one day. But I think they're going to come up with SEC rules, try to kick. Maybe it's like this. Like maybe I'm hoping, but I hope that all of us, hey, look, put some of your stuff into Caleb Brown. It better be like 50-50. I got probably 75% Caleb Brown, 25% hardware wallet. That's how I got it. When this thing takes off, I already know your wallets, they're not going to let into their game. That's why I'm in Caleb Brown. I'm in the camp with the top 2,000 banks. I'm in with the 2,000 banks in the world. I'm not like the preppers hiding out and campers and shit in the forest or whatever. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be with the people that got all the fucking money and all the rules and all the government connections and all the licenses and all these kinds of things. That's where I want to keep 75% of my stuff. I don't know how it works. What good is it to have crypto that you can't spend? You know they're not going to let you in the system. Once they do stuff, I strongly doubt they'll let you in. You can always take a chance, but I'm not willing to take a chance, me personally. So that's why I got mine. 75% institutional custody, 25% of my own. So I'm ready, and I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. So with that quantum cheek clapper system. Yep. All right, there you go. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to have a show at about 7 o'clock a.m. So we'll see what happens there with that. Adios.